In the busy town of Uromi, there lived a young girl named Sophia. She was the daughter of devoutly Catholic parents, who from a tender age had instilled in her the values of faith, obedience, and selflessness. However, beneath the surface of their pious exterior, Sophia's parents harbored a dark secret, a jealousy that would ultimately seal her fate. As Sophia blossomed into a beautiful young woman, her parents began to notice the attention she received from the opposite sex. They grew increasingly uneasy, fearing that her beauty would lead her down a path of sin and corruption. In their twisted minds, they believed that the only way to protect Sophia from the temptations of the world was to dedicate her life to God. Without regard for Sophia's own desires or aspirations, her parents forced her to enroll in a convent, where she would begin her journey to becoming a reverend sister. Sophia was devastated. She had always dreamed of attending university, pursuing a career, and one day starting a family of her own. But her parents would not be swayed. As Sophia reluctantly donned the habit, she couldn't help but feel a sense of resentment towards her parents. She felt trapped, suffocated by the very institution that was supposed to bring her closer to God. Despite her newfound role as a reverend sister, Sophia struggled to find solace in her faith. She felt like a bird with clipped wings, longing to soar but unable to escape the confines of her gilded cage. As the years passed, Sophia became increasingly disillusioned with her life as a nun. She grew envious of the freedoms enjoyed by those outside the convent walls. She would often sneak glances at the luxurious lifestyles of the wealthy families who attended the convent's charity events. The lavish cars, designer clothing, and extravagant jewelry only served to fuel her discontent. Sophia's jealousy soon turned inward, manifesting as a deep-seated resentment towards her fellow sisters. She would often find herself criticizing their piety, questioning their devotion to God. She began to see them as weak, naive, and foolish for blindly following the dictates of the church. As Sophia's behavior became more erratic, her superiors grew concerned. They attempted to counsel her, to guide her back onto the path of righteousness. But Sophia was too far gone. She had become a shadow of her former self, consumed by bitterness and envy. One fateful night, Sophia's desires finally got the better of her. She snuck out of the convent, attending a lavish party hosted by one of the wealthy families she had admired from afar. It was there that she met him, a charming, handsome young man who would change the course of her life forever. Their whirlwind romance was intense, passionate, and all-consuming. Sophia, for the first time in her life, felt truly alive. But their love was forbidden, and Sophia knew that she would have to face the consequences of her actions. As the weeks passed, Sophia's belly began to swell. She was pregnant, and she knew that she could no longer continue her life as a reverend sister. The shame and guilt were overwhelming, and Sophia felt as though she had failed everyone, including herself. In the dead of night, Sophia packed her bags, leaving behind the only life she had known for years. She disappeared into the shadows, leaving behind a trail of scandal and intrigue. The convent was left reeling, struggling to come to terms with the fact that one of their own had fallen so far from grace. As for Sophia, she vanished into obscurity, her fate a mystery to all who knew her. Some say she was last seen wandering the streets of a distant city, her eyes sunken, her spirit broken. Others claim that she found redemption, that she built a new life for herself and her child, free from the shackles of her past. But one thing is certain: Sophia's story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the devastating consequences of jealousy, resentment, and the suppression of one's true desires.